Hey there, everybody. I just thought I'd make a quick video on Kelvin Miyahira's article about all the different impact positions, different players rather on tour and throughout history, and to see if I can chunk it for you. A lot of people, might not have time, might not care to, might not think it's important to read a lot about golf and different research articles like this. But Kelvin wanted to see what are the commonalities between the best ball strikers of all time and the most athletic ball strikers, and for distance and accuracy. And he found some really interesting stuff. So there's examples of guys like Brian Gay versus Gary Woodland, and taking a look at the rotation in their pelvis and in their back, and the differences, and then we can see how that affects the right arm, and how the club actually comes into impact as well, with more usually forward shaft lean, as you can see here. And yeah, so let's just take a quick glance. And for all those of you, some of you probably read this article 20 times, some that may have never checked it out once. So this maybe is more for someone who's never checked it out. But we've got the legends: Ben Hogan, Sam Snead, Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Young Tiger. And interestingly enough, number 2 in the world is most recently Bubba Watson. Most people probably thought this guy would never do anything in the golf world, just bomb it far. He probably was more better suited for the long drive tour, but yeah, here he is, with questionable putting and a decent short game. It's pretty much been his swing that's brought him to number 2 in the world. Uh, anyway, there's a lot more to say there, but Bubba's really a gold medalist of our time. You can see the open hips, bent right arm here at the right elbow, and upper body rotation as well. Good lateral bend, and yeah, he spanks it. I've talked to guys on that have been on tour, caddying or training for the last decade, and they've seen everyone hit it. Even Tiger in 2006, 7, 8, 9 when he was dominating, or sorry, yeah, 6, 7, 8. And then, yeah, it's just interesting to hear that they think that Bubba is the best ball striker they've ever seen, and just consistently being able to do what he wants with the ball. It's really cool to hear. And Dustin Johnson, incredible athlete. Look at how open even his upper body is to the target, and then obviously his pelvis and everything, and then just an amazing right elbow move, and just crushes it out there, right? Gary Woodland. He's got all the moves. Hunter Mahan. This is an earlier Hunter Mahan. You can see in his most recent tournaments, he's a little less rotated, and yeah, it looks like it might be costing him. Keegan Bradley. He's had some instruction and been working with some people as of late, and he's still doing really well, and he's an athlete. Hopefully, he doesn't go in the same trend as Hunter Mahan. But Keegan's got it all. He's one of the only guys that's hit over 300 yards and over 60% of his fairways the last 4 years. Actually, he's the only guy in the last 4 years to do it every year. And we got GMAC. GMAC for a smaller guy, really pelts it out there, and incredible accuracy, as we all know. Tommy Gainey. He's got a lot of moves. This looks probably pretty uncomfortable for most people, but if you know how to, well, not if you know how, if you can move well, and you do have good mobility and agility in the important areas of your body, you can get into these positions and it's not going to hurt you. A lot of players have been forced into injury with instruction that gets away from athletic movement. So it's interesting to see how that pans out with everyone. Everyone's different. There's a lot of intangibles, but anyway. Then we've got Robert Garricus and Tiger, and then silver medalist Tiger in 2000, 2004, 08, when he was just really dominating. Fred Couples, back issues. Kelvin kind of touches on that here. He's got a reverse C position, and he slid a little too far left. And you may have recognized most of these guys. Alvaro Quiros gets it out there. JB Holmes. I'm not sure if Kelvin would have him up a little higher now. but silver medalist on the world stage in this type of research. That's really good. Cooch. And yeah, so I guess what's really interesting is, we've got fantastic golfers down here. Luke Donald, Webb Simpson, Louis Oosthuizen. The difference is, compared to the legends, they don't perform as consistently ball striking as the legends would have, and they don't move similarly, frankly. And John Daly's here, Sergio, Jim. So here's the thing: is there's a lot of variation on tour on quality of movement, and then the variation from the guys who are almost on tour, or shall we say, almost have all the moves, to you and I or an amateur. It's a huge difference. Like, we can't do this stuff correctly enough. There's, it's so difficult to get any of these positions, and it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of intelligent practice and the correct drills, and learning how to move better and loosening up in the areas that are tight, maybe tightening up in some areas that you're loose. It's an interesting journey for me as a golfer that just wants to get better, to really pick apart how I move, and then to see how that affects ball striking, and then also with the people that I get to help implement this stuff. And John Senden impact. So yeah, just a quick video, obviously showing. There's the end there. Here's you've probably seen this. It's all-time long hitters on tour. There's Freddie, DJ, Bubba, Sam Snead, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, John Daly, Davis Love. Who else is in there? Any players from the modern era? I'm not sure. So I think I just named off like 7. I forget the other 3. But yeah. Anyway, it's just interesting to see. Guys here like Rocco, his hips aren't rotated really at all. His upper body's not really rotated at all, and and yeah, to look at these guys and to see just the difference. These guys hit it a lot differently than the guys in the gold medalist category. And yeah, that's pretty much it. When I was reading these articles, I was frantically trying to get into these positions and having a different kind of swing thought every time, and so lucky to becoming certified and training with Kelvin, and then spending time with him in Hawaii and doing a month worth of lessons. That was easily the best thing that's ever happened to my golf game. So my goal is to pay it forward, and to help people move better, and help them get rid of pain, and to help them with their bodies, and then their ball striking and their golf scores and everything. So yeah, I just thought I'd make a quick video to see if someone didn't want to read this, because there's a lot of, as you can see, there's a lot of interesting words in here that you may not have heard before. Different release patterns: underflipping, drive hold, flip roll, club face stability, hips. Let's see here. Let's get into some really good stuff. You know what? This one's not. It's really just very visual. The lateral bend, lordosis, shoulders rotating vertical, tilted impact. There's a lot of different anatomical positions that are very similar with all these guys, and that's how they're able to get into positions. Their bodies are working very much the same. So yeah, and that's the thing about Kelvin's research, is that in order to train effectively and to allow people to get better through the right drills and swing thoughts and different body movements that come about, one has to understand complexity, so they can see the patterns and they can see where a person is and where they need to go to get closer to this stuff, and then they need to train simply or teach simply. So understand complexity, teach simply, and that's how you can really influence a person's swing and their ball striking. So that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, just give me a shout out either on YouTube or email or Instagram, Facebook. Thanks for listening.